Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to be discussing the outline property in CSS. You might be thinking, wait a minute, isn't there already a border property in CSS? Yes, there is, but the outline property works a bit differently. The outline property is used to add a visible outline around an element, similar to the border property. However, unlike the border property, the outline property does not take up any space or affect the layout of the page. The outline is drawn outside the border of the element and is typically used to highlight or emphasize an element. Let's get started. Following along from the previous videos, you should already have the index.html file set up to point to an external CSS file. If you do not already have this set up, pause the video and take a moment to add this boilerplate code to your index.html file, as well as link it to an external CSS. I've also included links in the description where you can find the code to get you started. And then after you have this set up, open Live Server as well. First, in the index.html file, let's add a heading and 4 short paragraphs. First, in the index.html file, let's add a heading and 4 short paragraphs. First is h1 tag, say outline. Then for the first paragraph, I'm going to say this paragraph has a normal outline on top of the border written the long way. And I'm also going to give it an ID of normal outline LW. Then for the second paragraph, I'm going to say this paragraph has a normal outline on top of the border written the short way. Give this one an ID of normal outline SW. Then for the third paragraph, I'm going to say this paragraph has an outline that appears inside the border. Give this one an ID of negative offset outline. Then for the last paragraph, I'm going to say this paragraph has an outline that appears further away from the border. And for this, I'm going to give it an ID of positive offset outline. Then over in the styles.css file, let's add some styles to all the paragraphs in general. The first paragraph, I'm going to give it a color of yellow and a background color of green. I'm going to give them some margin on the right, 75%. Then I'm going to give them some margin on the left at 20 pixels. Give them some space between each other with a margin top. And also let me give some padding to the content. All right. So next I'm going to add some blue borders to each of the paragraphs and apply a red outline so you can see the differences. So for the normal outline W, give it a border 10 pixels solid blue. And give it an outline width of 10 pixels. Outline style of solid. and then an outline color of red. And let me give it an outline offset of 0, which is the default. So you can see that now there's a red outline outside of the blue border. I'm going to do the same thing for the second paragraph, except I'm going to use the short way, or the shorthand. So again, blue border. I'm just using outline. I'm going to say 10 pixels solid red. And you can see the same effect on the second paragraph. You know what? I'm going to remove the padding, just so that we can see everything on the same screen. Now for the third paragraph, let's say negative offset outline border equals 10 pixels solid blue. And I'm going to give it an outline property 10 pixels solid red again. So now it looks just like the previous one, except I'm going to give it an outline offset of negative 30 pixels. Now you can see the outline actually appears inside the blue border. Now for the last paragraph, say positive offset outline. Then I'm going to give it a border again of 10 pixels solid blue. Outline property of 10 pixels solid red. Then I'm going to give it an outline offset of 10 pixels. Now you can see the outline property moves outside the blue border. So that's the outline property in CSS. It's a simple yet useful property to highlight or emphasize an element without affecting the layout of the page. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out the description for additional resources. I hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below.